What's up, guys? Welcome to Chops and Hops. Man, really cool to see everybody on tonight. Today, I know it's like different times all over the world, man. Um, we've got a really awesome discussion tonight because I want to share something with you guys. I'm going to share like four different guitars with you guys at different price ranges. I just want to give maybe 1 or 2 minutes for more people to come on. I know sometimes that the notification that YouTube sends out saying, "Hey, so and so's live." Sometimes that takes a little bit. So, how are you guys doing tonight, man? I see brother Craig's on here. We got Faceless. We got Paul. Man, my bitch sustained. I love it. Acoustic. Liam's on. Jay Axman, dude, awesome, man. Love doing this stuff. So I think a lot of you guys, before we get started on tonight's Chops and Hops, episode number 9, by the way, crazy, dude. Uh, I know some of you were on for the Metal Mastermind the other night, and I hope you those of you who joined that, hope you got a lot of value out of that because that's something that my buddy Ken and I. Ken Candelas, he's a professional audio engineer. That's what he does, for a living. But yeah, him and I started this thing called the Metal Mastermind, and it's where we're helping musicians, and just like all of us, we're helping other people that want to take their music to the next level. We're going to help people do that. But the thing about Metal Mastermind that's different from, because if you're in that, if you're in that world and you're really looking to take your music to the next level, you will see a bunch of ads from different companies trying to sell you things and that sort of thing. What separates Ken and I from what everybody else is doing is we're actually giving you actionable steps to take to do these things. Like, I know we talked about websites, how musicians really do need a website. You don't want to just rely on social media. And I'm not going to get into that, but we're going to follow up on all these things that we go through with, like, blog posts and checklists and things like that to give you, like, you can look at it. It's like, okay, I know exactly what step to do next. So that's what Metal Mastermind is all about. And we're going to cover a lot of stuff in that. It's going to be fun. Some of it's going to be kind of technical, though, because that's where a lot of people have questions. Like, well, I don't understand how to get my song to do this and release and blah blah blah. So anyway, thank you all for joining that, though. That was really awesome. We had a great time doing that. Thank you, Faceless. Yeah, I mean, Chops and Hops, dude. Chops and Hops is just fun. This to me, like, I look forward to this every Thursday night. I'm so glad we do this because it's just a good time, man. We're drinking some brews. By the way, cheers. I'm gonna share. Everybody, share what you're drinking, please. Share the beer you're drinking. Just throw it in the description, in the comments there. I am drinking, and you guys see a lot of this beer for me. Rome City IPA. It's by Brew Hub. They're based out of Lakeland, Florida. I live in Sefner, which is kind of like the Tampa Bay area. But these guys are based out of Lakeland, Florida, which is about 30-minute drive from where we live. This is one of my favorite beers, like, of all time. It is super just smooth IPA. What is it? I think it's not super strong either. It's 5.8%. So this is like a drink all day long type of beer, and not saying you won't get drunk if you drink all day, but I'm just saying, if you could drink a lot of these and just have an awesome day. So yeah, so that's what I'm drinking. Cheers, everybody. DW's on, Raymond's on. What's up, guys? I see you got some more folks. That's why I wanted to wait just a minute or two because I knew some other people that some other you guys would come on a little later because you don't always get that notification out. So diet green tea. We got diet green tea. We got coffee in there. Dude, I'm a coffee fanatic, man. I love my coffees. I like raid the Keurig every morning when I get home from the gym. And I take something for energy to go to the gym. But when I get home, I usually do 2 meals after I get home from the gym. And then I start drinking water. So, Raymond, you got water? So, no, I think I'm the only one drinking beer tonight, man. But that's okay. Like I said, I would never push you guys to drink beer if it's not something you want to do. So just know that. I call it chops and hops because I just happen to like craft beers. I know a lot of you do too. So again, if you're not drinking a beer while we're doing this, it's totally okay. I'm okay with that. This is more just kind of a comic relief. It's kind of the vibe, Faceless, like you said, dude. It's like a laid back Thursday. You know what I mean? The weekend's almost here. Just real laid back. Hey, by the way, I've got some news for you guys, and I was gonna share it. I was gonna share that at the end, and I'll share it at the end again because again, I know people come and go here. But I'm actually going to be at the guitar store called Replay Guitar Exchange tomorrow in Tampa, and I'm gonna be demoing a Black Star amp, which I've never. Did any of you guys like? Have any of you guys ever played Black Star amps? Are you familiar with Gus G plays through them? He's a big advocate for them. Acoustic's got some Mick Ultra going on. Awesome, dude. Liam, I do not smoke anything, dude. No. Yeah, Faceless. It's gonna be the tube amp, dude. They've got. I don't know. Honestly, well, I say it's a tube amp. I hope it's a tube amp, but I don't know what they had. I saw that they started carrying it. They're a local music store close to me. When I say close, though, it's about a 45-minute drive for me, and that's why I don't make it down there too much. So um, LTD Horizon, dude. Yes. So Liam, you like Black Star amps? That's awesome. But I'm going to be demoing that tomorrow in the store. What I did was I reached out to the store owner, and I've done a little bit of like some things with them in the past. And I was like, hey, I see you have Black Star amps because they don't really carry a lot of like metal guitar type stuff. I think the most metal thing they have is orange amplifiers, and I like the idea of orange amplifiers, but I've played through one, but it's not my favorite amp for what the style that we play, guys. You know what I mean? It's just not my favorite amp. So, if I had to play through one, hey, I'd use it. Yeah, something about the orange amp, Faceless. There's something about it. So, anyway, I'm going to be shooting a YouTube video tomorrow at Replay Guitar Exchange. I'm not going to do it live because I have to go in the store before they open to shoot the video. I'm going to take our camera and equipment in there. We're going to shoot the video, review the amp, and then I'll have that posted on YouTube later tomorrow. So I'll send you guys, I'll let you guys know. I'll send you an email or put it out there on social media or whatever and let you guys know when that video's out. That's going to be real cool. I'm excited about that. Going into an actual store, they're going to let me shoot the video there. That's pretty cool. Man, this beer's tasting good tonight, guys. So, uh, what guitar do I have right now? I have a PRS. I keep wanting to call it PSR. Acronyms, I screw up on acronyms, but this is Paul Reed Smith, PRS, and this is a McCarthy 594. This is an expensive guitar, but I love this thing, man. It plays like magic. I'm not even gonna lie. This is awesome. Let me turn this off real quick. I need an easier way to do that, but I just want to unplug this real quick because I want to show it to you guys. So this is called the top 10. This top finish is called the top 10, and my memory sucks. I forgot like all the details of the specs, but this is supposed to be like one of the top tops. I'll just say that. But it's a beautiful finish, man. These are 5815. I think they're called TL pickups or something like that. And in essence, what these pickups are supposed to do is just give it a very warm sound, which is kind of what you would expect this. Faceless, yes, thank you, dude. 10 top. Yes, the 5815 LT. Yeah, LT is what it. Yeah. Liam, I don't play gent, brother. I wouldn't know if it gents or not. Probably not, because this is a standard tuning 6-string. It's got these locking tuners. Now, these little things here, these locking tuners are actually PRS, locking tuners. So I thought those were pretty cool. What else do we have here? The intonation is like set all the way across the neck, and I didn't realize not all guitars were like that. It's just something new I learned today. And basically what this is supposed to help it stay in tune a little bit better. because you don't have like a. I mean, I know you've got these locking tuners up here, and that's great for changing strings, but there's no obviously there's no Floyd or tremolo or anything like that, which is great for me because I'm so sick of Floyds. We've had this conversation, uh, but yeah, this is the type of wood is Carina, and Faceless, correct me if I'm wrong, dude. I think it's Carina wood, and the Carina wood was actually what Gibson used to use for their Flying V's and Explorer guitars, and I don't know at what point they stopped using that. My buddy was telling me he thinks around the '70s or something like that. I'm not really sure. So, man, Gibson just like I don't know what happened. It's like they were this great guitar company, and all of a sudden, this huge gnome from outer space came and just took a poop on them. Actually, that didn't happen. The company got greedy, is what happened, and they started making bad decisions. You know what I mean? They started making horrible, horrible decisions. So, yeah, dude, guys, I've played Les Pauls. I've played really expensive Les Pauls before. I just wasn't impressed, and I don't know. It was never my thing. The two big companies are, Fender, Gibson, and I would go with Fender all day, every day over Gibson, man. If I had to choose between the two, because you guys know I had the Telecaster on here a few weeks ago, and that was actually a really nice guitar, really, really cool. Um, and Liam, I see you said you have an Epiphone Les Paul. I have heard by many, many people that they would actually prefer to play the Epiphone over the Les Paul. I don't know why that is, but that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about. You know what I mean? That's just the thing. So here I've got a very expensive guitar. So here's a spoiler alert. This is not my guitar. I do not own this guitar. So my good friend Brian, you guys remember Brian, right? Brian from the Southern Creek Band. He's the guy. I had him on the show here. On I say the show. I had him on one of my YouTube videos a while, last week actually, and we were, he was testing or letting me test his Mesa Boogie Fillmore amp. Now that's totally not a metal amp, but we're just trying to push it to see what we can do with it. And I think I'm going to go back over there and connect a overdrive up to it next time and see if I can push it further. But anyway, so and he's the guy that also owns the Telecaster I had here for a few weeks. He let me hang on to that for a little while. So whenever yes, it matches my shirt, Craig. um, when I went back to give him his Telecaster back, he's like, dude, why don't you take this home and just try it out and see what you think about it, and see if you can get some good tones out of it for my style of music. And I did. And I don't know if you guys caught the video. I just posted it like maybe an hour and a half ago, maybe 2 hours ago, on this guitar. So I have got a full YouTube video on this guitar. It's a brand new video. That's out there now. So I'll before we leave tonight, I'll post the link, or like just stay on YouTube. I know for some of you it's gonna be super late, but if you want to stay on YouTube and see that, I will also. You guys know every Friday I email you guys like what happened this week, in the world of guitar and in our world here. So I'll have the link to that video and that email that you get tomorrow morning as well. So that's it. Um, so here's the thing. I like this guitar, but I don't love it. The price tag on this thing, I forgot how much Brian paid for it, but I was looking online, and it's like I think it's well over $4,000. You know what I mean? I do like the colors because green is my wife and I's birthstone. So, and that's just by chance. So this is an expensive guitar. This is the most expensive guitar I have in my studio right now. Again, it's not mine. It's my friend Brian's. I'm not really a gear junkie, to be honest. I don't really ever aspire to have a wall full of 20 guitars. I just want like, really two or three. But anyway, so this thing right here was super expensive. This is an expensive, what we're talking about tonight is, are expensive guitars worth it? And I want to compare some expensive guitars to some maybe mid-grade or real cheap, cheap guitars. So, you know, yeah, you would definitely bust the wallet with this one, DW. This is a super expensive guitar. Uh, it's not something I would buy. Again, this is not mine. This is not my guitar. This is my friend Brian's. He's letting me borrow it, and I don't even know if he's planning to keep it. Who knows? So, expensive guitar. Now, next guitar I want to show you. So let's just say $4,000. Let's say $4,000 for this PRS. The PRS. What is it again? McCarthy 594. So Now, let's go to the next expensive guitar that I have in the studio. And some of this may not be too relevant, guys, because I'm comparing, like, the guitar I'm about to compare this to. We're kind of comparing apples to oranges, but I'm going somewhere with this. I promise. You'll see what I'm talking about soon. I'm going somewhere with this. Um, the next most expensive guitar, like I said, I've got four tiers. I'm going to go expensive, pretty expensive, not so expensive, and even less expensive. Okay, I got four guitars we're going to go through. And you guys have already seen this anyway. So next up, we go from about 4,000 and change to a little or almost 2,000. I would say this is a couple grand here, maybe a little less than that. Now this is my 7 string. This is my ESP. Okay, you guys are very familiar with this guitar here. Black darkness imprisoning me. All that I see, absolute horror. Metallica lyrics. You can never go wrong with that. So this is the E2 ESP E2 Horizon FR7. All right. Now again, $4,000 guitar, a little under $2,000 guitar. Yes, I realize I'm a metal player, so I'm obviously going to choose this one. But if I try to get rid of any biases in my head, and let's just say I'm not a metal guitar player, I'm not anything, I'm just playing guitar, and I'm just thinking the quality, the way the guitars play, the way they sound, and all this stuff. So I would choose this guitar right here over this one, and this one is way less expensive. Now, again, I know I'm comparing apples to oranges, and I do realize that that this is, I don't know, it's like one of those things where it's a personal decision. Some people may love this way better than this right here, and I get that. To each their own. But again, I'm going somewhere with this, so just hang in here with me, okay? So $4,000, $2,000. I'm choosing this one. I'm gonna put this one away for a little bit, okay? And I'm gonna bring out another guitar. The next guitar I'm bringing out, guys, is about $1,000 less than this guitar right here. Okay, so let's bring it out. Now we're comparing apples to apples because this is an ESP. Now, this is my 7 string. This is my 6 string. So obviously there's some differences there, but this guitar here, this is my ESP LTD M1000 Deluxe. Okay, now this, I bought it used, so I'm not going to say the used price. I mean, I only paid $600 for it, but brand new, these guitars are about 1,000. Excuse me, I'm trying not to burp on camera. These are like between $1,000 and $1,100, something like that. So this is a good $800-900 less than this one right here. Okay, now let's take away the 7 string on my 7 string guitar. Let's pretend it only had 6 strings. Okay, let's take that out of the equation, because if I'm looking for a 7 string guitar, obviously I'm going to choose a 7 string, right? But let's pretend this is the 6 string version of this guitar. If I had to go buy a new guitar right now and choose between these two after playing them and trying to be as unbiased as I possibly can, I would choose this one. This one right here. And this one just happens to be the lesser expensive guitar. Now, why would I choose that one? They did. They nailed it with this guitar, dude. They freaking nailed it, man. I love it. So one, this has got jumbo frets, and I know you can put jumbo frets on this one too, but if you put the real jumbo frets on this one, it'd probably be more expensive, okay? So you see my point here so far. I think you guys will see where I'm going with this. This guitar is less expensive, about $800 less, okay? So I prefer a guitar that's $800 less than the guitar I just held in my hand, and I suck at math, but it's way less than this super expensive guitar over here. I'm choosing this one, all right? And there's many reasons why. This one, the neck is actually faster. The tone is better. I like these EMG pickups, the 8183s. I like them better than the EMG 707s in this guitar. This guitar, I love the 7 string. Don't get me wrong. I love my 7 string guitar, but it doesn't have as much clarity as my 6 string does. It's not there. Okay, so this guitar is winning right now. All right, my ESP. So, guys, so far we've had $4,000 guitar, $2,000 guitar, give or take, and let's say $1,000 guitar. Okay, huge price differences here. So far, my favorite is the lesser expensive guitar. It's just that. All right, now I'm gonna bring out another guitar that you guys are fully aware what this guitar is because we've talked about it before. The Ibanez RG 1570. Okay. Now there's some things I don't like about this guitar. Mainly the pickups. That's really the only thing I don't like about this guitar. It's got the V8, V7, and S7 pickups. These are Ibanez stock pickups. They really do suck. This guitar, I don't know how much it was. This guitar was probably back in its prime. It was probably around the same price as this LTD. Okay, I think this was around probably 900 bucks, maybe $1,000 bucks. They don't make. I don't think they make the 1570 anymore, the RG 1570 anymore. So you can't buy this new. So it's kind of an unfair comparison. But on today's market value, and let's just, I'm not counting the new M1000 Deluxes because I know they still make these things. On today's market value, used, this guitar is going to be less expensive. Okay. Now here's what I will tell you. I would still choose this guitar over this one, just because this is set up more for metal. But I'm going to tell you something that I like better about this guitar that I wish my ESP had. Um, the fretboard here is slightly wider. Okay, the fretboard this right, is slightly wider, and I like that. And also the neck is slightly thinner than my ESP. So I really wish that my ESP, look at the difference there. The ESP is more like a baseball bat. Not, I won't say a baseball bat. That's not true because that PRS over there, that's a baseball bat, and I don't like that at all. Now again, that's just preference. That's just preference. What do you like best? You know what I mean? So this one right here, I wish my ESP had a little bit thinner neck like this one, and I also wish the fretboard was just a little bit wider like my Ibanez is. Um, I'm able to play better on this guitar. But here's the thing. Here's where I'm going with this, guys. Um, we look at a $4,000 guitar, $2,000 guitar, a $1,000 guitar, and one that's probably a little less than 1,000 on today's market value. So the thing is my preferences are the lesser expensive ones. Now, I'm not saying that you should go, that you should go out and buy a cheap beginner guitar and be okay with that. That's not what I'm saying. I think there's a price range. I think, and I'm going to get to your questions here, guys. I wanted to go through that little demonstration, so hopefully that was kind of cool to watch. But the thing is, it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't, like having super expensive guitars. It sounds cool to do, and it's like, oh, this thing, it's almost like up here. It's like this thing costs 5 grand. It must be amazing, and then you get it, and it's just not really amazing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just that. Liam, I just saw your thing pop up here. So this doesn't, dude. This guitar doesn't sound great for metal. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's not. It's not. And I'll play it in a little bit here, but it's not really that awesome for metal. I actually played. I actually recorded the first heavy metal workout album with that Ibanez and using the original Bias FX, the first Bias FX. And I got some. I like the tone. I mean, honestly, I like that tone. It's one of my favorite tones. So I just, but I spent a lot of time tweaking it. So it's a combination of the guitar and all this stuff. So I want to go through here. My thing is the price range for guitars is it's almost like you kind of have to get to that $700 to $800 mark, between that $700 to $800 and about $1,200. And I think you've got some really great guitars because there, and you guys know this. There's a huge difference now between a $200 guitar, $300 guitar, and an $800 guitar, $1,000 guitar. There's a huge gap. However, $8 to $1,000 guitar, or eight to 900 to $1,000 guitar versus a $4,000 to $5,000 guitar, there's just not that much of a difference, guys. And that's just my opinion. I could, I mean, some people would tell me I'm wrong because it has this, that, and blah blah blah. But I just me just playing them and hearing the tones and the way they feel, the way they play. I'm so much happier. In other words, if I could take this guitar back, and you guys know I'm thinking about selling it. I haven't decided yet. This is my 7 string. This is my ESP. It's not LTD, it's ESP, made in Japan. They're premium factory, so to speak. If I could take this back, or let's say if I had to do over again, I would have got a 7 string version of this guitar right here. And it would have been about 12, 1300 bucks instead of 2000 bucks. And I probably would have been a lot happier. So that's where I'm at. So I wanna kind of catch up on the comments real quick, guys. I know you guys are chatting in here, so keep it going. I want to catch up though. Um, Man, guitars, guitars. We can go broke on this stuff, you know. So faceless, you're saying, dude. I know you just got the Solar 7 string. You think I'd trade my E2 for it? $1,300 euro, dude. So that's about what 1150 USD. I can't do the math in my head, but I have actually thought about what you're saying. I have actually thought about when I sold my 7 string. If I do decide to sell it, if I sold that, then I would probably I'd probably maybe go for a solar. You know what I mean? Uh, so somebody's got a question about pickups. I it's kind of standard to go with active pickups for metal because you're just gonna get more metal tone out of that. You know, you got to have that sustain that the active pickups give. It's not to say you have to have them. Plenty of metal players play without them, play with passive. You know what I mean? But um, yeah, I do want to try a solar guitar. You know, my buddy. I don't know if you guys follow Kevin Fassard. I did a collaboration with him last year, and actually Ola England sent him a freaking solar guitar for free. He's got it on YouTube. He just sent him like last month or two. It's crazy. I'm like, man, I don't think Ola even knows who I am. But anyway, I'd love, man, if he happened to send me a guitar, I'd be like, oh dude, I'll be playing it all the time. But no, I'm probably gonna have to buy one. So that's okay though. I'll gladly support that. So DW, the max you can go for spinning. DW, I want to point your thing out here, dude. So DW says the max he can go for spinning on a guitar is 550. Here's the thing, buy a used guitar because, dude, my best guitar in the studio right now, the one if I had to get rid of everything in my studio and walk out of here with just one guitar, it's this one right here. It's my LTD M1000 Deluxe. You know how much I bought it for? $600. Okay, and this is like 10 years ago, so 600 bucks. And I did a little research before I came on here, guys. I did a little bit of research and looking at used prices for this guitar and for my Ibanez, and I saw some of these guitars, for anywhere from like 400 to $700. So DW 550, dude. Search for a used ESP or Jackson. What I would say to that though, because you don't always know how much it is. What I would say, whatever guitar you're looking at, look at what the price is for brand new. Okay, so if you've got a brand new guitar that's $1,000 and you want to buy it used, I would say be willing to spend about between $500 and $700. Okay, I think that's fair. Now, if you see a guitar for sale for 500 bucks and you like it, go look it up first and see how much it is new. Or if it's an older model, see how much it used to be new. Because the last thing you want to do is buy something used for 500 bucks and then find out it's new for 550 or 600. That means you're not really getting that great of a quality guitar because it's not. Again, I truly think for brand new guitars, you got to hit that $800-900 mark before you get into the territory where it's like it's really good. You know what I mean? And then beyond that, it's just pure preference. You know what I mean? So hopefully, I hope that makes sense. Um, so Blade says the solar guitars the mid range are around 600-700 bucks. I don't know anything about solar guitars, guys. I have no clue about them. Faceless, I know you have one. If you want to chime in on that, you know much more about that than I do when it comes to solar guitars. So, John, do I prefer 7 strings over six? Dude, I am torn every single day on that. I am like literally like there's days where I wish I'd never bought a 7 string guitar because my studio life and everything would just be so much more simple. I was dead set on just being a six string guitarist and just playing in standard tuning because nobody does that. Nobody in the metal community does that. So I'm like, I'm going to be that one person that does that. But what happened was I started doing death metal vocals. I started writing an album, and I didn't know I was going to write an album with vocals in it. Before when I released Masterpiece, I'd released three instrumental albums up to that point, and I was like, well, I started writing lyrics and I started doing death metal vocals. I'm like, well, crap, I don't really want to do death metal with a six string guitar, and I didn't want to go through the hassle of down tuning. And I'm probably overthinking it, but I'm like, why don't I just get a seven string instead? You know what I mean? My six string guitars, I don't like to mess with the tunings because I play for other projects too, guys. So it's like if I start messing with tunings on my six strings, then I'm screwed. Then I can't play for these other projects that need standard tuning. You know what I mean? It's just a big pain in the ass. So that was another reason why I bought a seven string. Uh, Evertune. I do want an Evertune. I just glanced and I see Evertune down there. So Guillermy, I like the LTD EC401? I've never played it, dude, so I couldn't tell you. I think those guitars are shaped like this body shape, the EC, the LTD ECs. I think they have the similar body shape to this one. I'm not really a big fan of that body shape. To me, this body shape right here and this headstock just looks more metal to me, and that's what I like. And that's just my preference. I'm not saying you guys have to like that. It's just I don't like the Les Paul looking body styles. It's just not my thing. Uh, let's see here. Yeah, definitely go to the used market, man. I'm a big fan of buying used pretty much everything. I don't like paying full price for anything. About the only thing I pay full price for is beer, because you don't want used beer. You know what I mean? Oh, dude. Well, yeah, I should share a link, Liam. I don't have any link to share with you that's relevant, though, to be honest with you guys. Um, Not right now, anyway. So, do me a favor, real quick, guys, because I always forget to do this. To say this, just please, if you haven't yet, please hit the like button on my video here. I need to get in the habit of saying that. Cheers from Brazil, dude. I got a lot of friends from Brazil. Oh, nice, DW. Well, girlfriends have $1,000 worth of clothes, makeup, blah blah blah. Us metalheads have $1,000 worth of gear. That is true, dude. Here's the thing: our gear lasts forever. Makeup and whatever else girls get doesn't, because they're always buying more stuff anyway. Then I guess us guitarists buy stuff too. Um, Off topic, Lorenz. But what do you think about DLR stuff with Vi and Becker? I haven't heard it, dude. I don't know. I haven't heard it yet. Yeah, slap like now, guys. Thank you, Liam. Slap it. So Anton, you just bought the EC 1000. So that's more that Les Paul body shape, right? Not so much the Strat shape. And I've heard those are good guitars. That whether you get an M 1000 or EC 1000, man, those, dude, you just can't go wrong. Like I said, I just wish my neck, I wish the neck was just a little bit thinner and the fretboard was just a hair wider. So if I don't get a solar guitar, I'd really like to get just an LTD seven string, you know. But I would have to buy mine used because I spent so much money on my seven string, my E2 Horizon seven string. It costs so much money. Like I said, it's almost like $2,000. So I know if I sell it, I'm not gonna get what I pay for out of it. So what I'm gonna have to do with that is just use that money towards a six string, or I'm sorry, a seven string LTD. But I'd need to buy it used just so I can come out okay financially. You know what I mean? I don't like throwing money away. I just don't like doing that. Abdullah, why didn't I get a baritone guitar instead of seven string? I I have no use for a baritone guitar, brother. I don't. That's just not my thing, man. I'm not a gent player. I'm not. A lot of my stuff is. I'm not saying I'll never play it. I don't know. I might someday. Who knows? But it's just not. It's just not something I'm interested in, man. I'm not. I'm not trying to like play super heavy low notes. I just want to. I want to be able to riff and write good music. Again, I just got the 7 string because it fit the death metal vocals a little bit better. But I don't want to get, I just don't really want to go beyond that, to be honest with you. Change the pickup before you sell the 7 string. Actives are not always the best. You said you have many guitars and non-actives. Yeah, I agree with you. Sometimes, man, sometimes passive pickups can sound really good, and honestly, it's less hassle. You don't have to worry about a battery, and because when that battery dies in your active pickups, it always dies at the worst time because you don't even think about it. I mean, those batteries last a year or two, so, dude, you know. All right, so John, you own 2 solar guitars, dude. Liam, would I like to have a V guitar? No, I cannot stand V guitars, dude, because you can't sit here and play with it in your lap. You've got to put the V like in your leg, into your leg and play that way. And then if you get tired, you're kind of screwed unless you're standing up. So no V's for me, dude. That's too much work. I think fret wraps. Paul. I've never used a fret wrap, dude. I'm interested in using one though. I'd really like to use one and just see. I'm gonna be at a music store tomorrow, demoing an amp for a YouTube video. They're gonna let me come in and demo some amps for YouTube, and maybe I'll see if I can try one of the fret wraps there. But I have no clue. Craig, Project Bass Guitar 77. So Steve Priest, bass player from The Sweet, has passed away. Oh no, dude. I don't think I really listened to The Sweet that much, but rest in peace, man. Okay, so Faceless, the LTD M1007H Black Fade. I'm going to tell you something that's embarrassing, guys. I think some of you may know this. If some of you might remember, I actually have a review on my YouTube channel for the LTD M1007. And I don't think it's that specific model, Faceless, but here's what happened. I bought it from Sweetwater. I got it. And then I played it and I liked it, but my stupid ass convinced my own brain that I needed a Floyd. So I sent it back. I called my rep. I'm like, I'm sorry to do this, man, but I want that E2 Horizon, even though it's like almost $1,000 more. So I got it. So I screwed up. Look, I always share my faults with you guys. I always share my mistakes so that you don't make the same. So I wish to God that I had just kept that guitar and gotten used to it. The problem was it wasn't the guitar. It was just a 7 string. It was weird to me. And I was thinking, well, this is weird. Maybe if I get the more expensive one that is an ESP made in Japan over the LTD, that it'll be better, and I'll like it better. And that wasn't the case at all. That was a bad decision. I regret that decision, and ultimately that's going to cost me a little bit of money, you know. But yeah, I'd love to get that guitar. Really love to get that. That's probably, if I don't go with solar, I'll still hang. I kind of want to hang with ESP anyway, even if it's an LTD, because I've got this weird thing in my head that I want to somehow work with them and connect with them and maybe get sponsored later down the road. I haven't really received any feedback from them on that regard. I don't really expect to anytime soon, but as I put more albums out and as I just increase my presence, it's just a matter of time. It's like I'm pretty relentless when it comes to this kind of stuff, and I'm going, if I want something, I'm going to go after it until I get it. So, and I'm just going to keep cranking out good music and that sort of thing, so I can get in their space. So I'll probably stick with ESP more than likely, unless another guitar company offers me something. Like it'd be like if Ola said, "Hey, dude, I'll give you some, I'll mention you on my YouTube, anything. I don't care what, then I would definitely go there." Man, so yeah, fixed bridges. You definitely cannot go wrong with that, dude. DW is asking Faceless if you ever been to the U.S. because the metal scene in Europe is pretty awesome. The U.S., dude, our metal scene here is just not. It's weird. It's very strange, and maybe it's like this in other countries too. But like metal, what's more popular in the U.S. is either like pop, hip hop, rap, that sort of thing, or country, and country pop, whatever. Those little genres there, and I kind of consider all those the same. I know they're not, but to me they are because I don't really care for any of them. That's just what's popular here in America. That's what is commercial music is what people want here. Metal, the newer rock and metal bands that are out. I honestly I have not been satisfied with any U.S. rock and metal bands that's been out for like the past 15, 20 years probably. That's I know I sound like an old fart saying that, but it's just there's a few. Um, yeah, Faceless and Craig. I heard you guys talk about Schecter. I've played one before. It's been a while, and that might. I'm not. I may go that route too, guys. You never know. I mean, I remember playing a Schecter many many years ago. There's a music store in the town I grew up in, Pensacola, Florida, and and I remember going there, and they were huge Schecter carriers. They were like pushing Schecter, Schecter, Schecter. And at that time, I think Schecter was somewhat new. This is like 20 plus years ago, a long time ago. And I'd never heard of them before. So I'm like, Schecter Spectre, what is this? It's not a Jackson. I was playing Jackson at that time. And I just didn't want to have anything to do with it, you know what I mean? So I didn't give it a fair chance. Another mistake that I've made. Give things a fair chance. So thank you guys for bringing that up, the Schecters, because I might indeed try that, you know what I mean? Because I know Jeff Loomis, man. I think Jeff Loomis is playing Jackson now. Here's the thing about like really famous guitar players that are out there, really in the public eye. You can't really base your decisions off what they play because those guys get different deals every so often. Some of them stick with the same guitars for life. Like Joe Satriani, he's an Ibanez guy. He's stuck with Ibanez his entire life. Guys like Jeff Loomis, who they're well known, but they're not extreme popular. He's gonna go with whoever gives him the best deal, and I don't blame him. I would too. Like if I was endorsed by a guitar company and another company came and said, "Hey, we're gonna make a signature guitar for you, give you a better deal, you get, and I like the guitar, I'm gonna go with it, man. I'm gonna end the contract with the other person or when it runs out. So that's just smart business decisions. You have to be like that. But what I'm saying is that you can't really base your decision so much, and I'm speaking to myself here because I'm bad about this. I can't really base my decisions on what I get off of what my favorite guitar players are playing because I may buy the guitar they're playing and then tomorrow they get a better deal with another company and now they're playing this. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought you said this was best. You know what I mean? So hopefully that makes sense. Somebody had a question about amp sims. Liam, I do both, dude. I mic my amp. I use sims. A lot of times I use sims to play, to write with, but I'm wanting to mic my next album. I want to use the mic amp, but I'll probably use some amp sims as well. Yeah, you make a good point, DW. Most newer metalheads don't understand the origin. No, you're right, dude. Um, that's just that. Yeah, faceless. That's kind of what I get. And I'm reading your Schecter comment. They're just as good of quality, but for a better price, and I'm all for that. And I kind of like the fact that they're still somewhat of an underdog, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Glenn Tipton, get ESP Glenn Tipton model. Amazing guitar, comes with EMGs. Yeah, I mean that's what I have now, man. I've got ESP guitars with EMG pickups, both of my guitars, and I love both of them. It's just a matter of I like my six string. I like my LTD M1000 Deluxe, which is about $800 cheaper than my ESP E2 Horizon. So I'm thinking about selling the E2 Horizon. He's got a sad face on. I think my guitar heard me say that. Not good. A demo and eight string, dude. I wouldn't know what to do with an eight string guitar. You know what I mean? I would not know what to do because I remember the guitar store I'm going to tomorrow. I'm going. I think most of you know, but for those that new coming on, I'm going to demo a Black Star amp tomorrow at a local guitar store, and I'm gonna film it so I can make a YouTube video out of it. I've got to be there at like 9:30 before they open so I can shoot the video. But yeah, I'm gonna play through their Black Star amp, and who knows? I may come back home with a Black Star, and if I like it better than my EVH, I don't know. This EVH is pretty hard to beat, though, man. I can't imagine any amp sounding as good as the EVH. But you never know, man. You play through different stuff, and who knows? But I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna like. I don't know if I like the Black Star as much as the EVH, but I don't want to think like that. I want to give it a fair chance. So anyway, but yeah, so the music store I'm going to tomorrow to film my YouTube video for test the Black Star amp. That same store, I was there meeting Chris Broderick. Like this is 3 or 4 years ago, about 3 years ago, and he was promoting the Chris Broderick 7 string. So it was a Jackson 7 string guitar, and I had never really sat down and played a 7 string before. So I'm like, let me try this out. I may buy a 7 string tonight. Dude, I put that thing in my hands. I started playing, and my wife even looked over at me. She's like, "Did you forget how to play guitar?" Because I was just screwing up, and I'm like, "This extra string's in the freaking way, man." I couldn't I just could not play. It was weird. So I was embarrassed, man. I'm like, guys, I promise I'm a pretty decent guitar player, but the 7 strings, and the guy, one of the guys looked at me and just laughs like, dude, you don't have to explain this to me, man. It's like a completely different instrument. So that being said, if you put me in front of an 8 string guitar, you're gonna hear some really bad stuff come out because I'm not gonna know what to do with it. Now, Liam, you bring up Ingo amps. I love the tone of Ingo amps. Those things, though, while we're talking about expensive gear, those Ingo amps are super expensive, man. Like, look, my EVH, and you guys can kind of see it over here. My EVH was, well, it's like $1,500. That's the 50-watt head, the EL34 version, which is like $100 more, so maybe it was 1,600. And the cab, the 212 cab. That's what I have right there. 1,500 bucks. Not too bad. But man, you get an Engel amp, that same setup, which I don't know if they have the exact same, 50 watt with 212 or whatever, but that it's going to be substantially more. It's just like the Fortin amps. I would like to buy, I use the Fortin amp sim from Neural DSP, but man, I'd love to have a real Fortin amp. But those things are super expensive, and I get it, man. A lot of those amps are handcrafted, you know. Um, my bitch sustain. That's interesting. So you say your 7 string sounds better with 6L6 tubes. Yeah, before I bought the EL34 tube, the EVH, I actually played two EVHs with the 6L6s. And I was like, man, these things sound awesome. But then I went to my friend's house who had this amp, the EL34, and I played through that with my 7 string, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting it, no question asked. So I don't regret that at all. But the reason why I got the EL34 is because it is a little bit more diverse in tones than the 6L6 version, in my opinion. That's from when I played through both before I bought them. But I just didn't. I love the 6L6 version. Don't get me wrong; it's amazing for metal, and I'd probably like the metal tone better. But again, I wanted an amp that was versatile and that I could play my metal stuff with. But then when I'm also playing for another band that I've just started up recently, it's not metal. It's kind of more rock, But I wanted to have that flexibility. I'm the kind of guy I want just like a one trick pony for everything because I don't want to have. I mean, look, it'd be cool to have like 8 amps in here, but it's just not feasible, financially or with the space. And my wife and I, we're trying to downsize and just become more minimalist, if that makes sense. I don't have a lot of stuff in my studio. It looks like a lot on video, but I really don't have that much stuff in here, guys. I'm pretty minimal. Um, so where are we at here, guys? So the Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit 200. I bet that is a beast, man. Wow. Piano Nor's here. You guys in the UK, man, it's awesome, dude. I so want to go. I so want to go over there. And we're going to at some point, and I'll have to connect with you guys somehow. We'll figure it out because I've never traveled to anywhere in Europe before, and I'm dying to go. I mean, my ancestry is in Hull, England, Hull. Goes way back. That's where the Stallworths originated from. So I really want to go there. So there's an Abdulia said there's an EVH version that has both. Dude, that would be something. That would be both EL34 and 6L6. That would be an amazing amp. Man. I had I actually had a BC Rich Warlock at one time, dude. It was pretty awesome. It had, I'm going to pour beer, guys. I'm at a two beer max tonight. Usually on Thursdays when we do chop stops, I'll have usually one beer, sometimes two, every now and then three. It just depends. But I usually do my more beers usually happen like on usually on Saturday and Sunday. I don't even drink that much beer on Friday. I'll have a couple, but not a ton. But Saturday and Sunday, I'll tear down some beers. I'll be honest with you, because I'll do a lot of work in the studio and on the patio writing, and I probably do more writing than anything, like blogging. But for some reason, if I'm drinking beer, I can just write all day and just not even phase me. I'll take breaks and go to the pool and stuff like that. But if I'm drinking beer, that's why I love. That's why I love working while I drink. Like if I'm writing stuff, I'm not talking about getting hammered, but I'm just if I'm having some beers, I can just chug five, six, eight beers or whatever while I'm writing and just come up with some really cool stuff. So anyway, a side note, since it is chops and hops, this is awesome, guys. Yeah, the BC Rich Warlock. I don't remember what it sounded like. I don't think I cared for the sound of it that much. You know what I mean? But it just looked cool. It was like black, but it had like white lightning all over it. So it was pretty cool looking. I think I bought it at a pawn shop, and I probably sold it at a pawn shop. Oh, dude, the EVH. Yeah, that's what I thought, Faceless. I thought they were just two completely different models. I never heard, I mean, it'd be cool to have something you could switch tubes over, but then that's a completely different set of tubes you got to have. So price goes up. Oh, man. Oh, so the 120 watt may do that. I don't think the 50 watt would do that. Okay. Mesa Boogie Dual Rec. I'm trying to remember if I played through one and when. I played through so many amps in my life, but when I was younger, and my I don't want to say I was touring because it wasn't really a tour, but my band, we were called the Guys, because we're just a bunch of cool guys hanging out. It's like, hey, let's call ourselves the Guys. So we did, and we played all over, like a lot of places in my area in Florida and some in Alabama, that sort of thing. So, uh, but yeah, I played through a crate half stack, and it was a solid state, but I was running my Digitech RP10 through that. Now, I know some of you, if you're my age, are like, Digitech RP10? I remember that. That was a cool little unit, man. That thing was just awesome. I remember sometimes I'll just plug my headphones in it and just listen to me myself, just practice or whatever, and it just sounded awesome. You're in a completely different world. Really, really cool. The Genelex 12AX7, dude. Man, Liam, why I need a father if I have. Oh, dude. Hey, your father's kind of broke, dude. I need beer money. I'm kidding. Oh, man. Yeah, the dual rec, dude. The dual rec is that amp. Man, you get that thing cranked up, throw your screamer in front of it or whatever, and that's really hard to beat. It's just got a nice sound. Somebody earlier, if I scroll back up real quick, somebody earlier mentioned the PV. Was it 6505 you mentioned? And I'm sorry I missed that. Yeah, Abdullah, you mentioned that the 6505 is way cheaper. You know what, dude? That's a good point, man. Because when I was looking at the prices of those things, I almost bought a 6505 combo amp. But yeah, I mean, dude, the half stack, the 412 cabinet and 120 watt head was total like $1,800. And I'm thinking, I almost bought that instead of this EVH because I'm thinking, man, it's only a few $100 more than this 50 watt 212. 300 more bucks, I could have got 120 watt 412. Here's why I didn't get that though, because there's no. That was just too big for my studio, and I'm not playing at any large venues right now or anything. I want to soon, but with this whole thing that happened, you know what I mean, recently, I'm not playing out, and that hasn't, I'm still in the studio, so I didn't want to have something so big that's so big in here that I really can never play. You know what I mean? So at least this 50 watt head and the EVH, the way the gains is set up in this amp, I can get really nice distortion at a super low volume. It's almost unbelievable. So I can have it low and just practice in here and I don't have to crank it super high to get a really good tone to record with either. I've got my SM57 mic in front of it, and it's doable in my small home studio here. You know, this room it's only a 10 by 11 room. It's very tiny. Bill Nye, what's the first thrash song that I learned? Oh, dude. So it would have been Metallica, and I believe the first thrash metal song I learned was the intro to Battery on acoustic. Gloom, 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 gloom. I learned that. That was my first one because that's why I started playing guitar here in Metallica. I was like, dude, when I heard Metallica's Puppets and Justice, it was it was like this cloud opened up to another universe, and that's like literally what happened for me. I'm like, oh my god, I love this stuff. Like, I need more, and I was obsessed with those two albums. I don't want to say I learned every song note for note because that wouldn't be true. But I did pretty much learn all the rhythms to that very quickly because I was in a, it was for the sheer fact that I loved it so much. When you're really into something and you actually spend time with it and do and do and do and do. I've been going through this sweep arpeggio pattern lately, and I'm not going to be one of those guys that's all I do is sweep arpeggios. That's never going to be me. But I was just trying to get better at a specific pattern. So, practice, practice, practice every day. And then just like magic, all of a sudden I pick up my guitar and it's like, holy crap, I did that smooth. Couldn't do that 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? So it's like anything. I spent a lot of time working on the Metallica songs back then. I don't learn other people's music anymore, but because I'm too busy writing my own. The Randall Satan. The Randall Satan amp. Never played through one, but I think I've heard Ola England play through one. So Jax, man, you had a Digitech 2120 rack. I remember that, dude. Ah, man, yeah. Drinks got spilled on it. That's not cool, dude. That's not cool at all. There's something about beer or anything liquid going into audio stuff. But that Digitech 2120, I wanted one of those. I never got one, but I wanted one so bad at one time because I remember just hearing how it sounded. I'm like, wow. Oh, Overkill, DW, Overkill. Lorenzo, yours was Jump in the Fire. That's a fun song to play, dude. Dun, 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 dun. That's a really cool song to play. I love it. Dude, dude, dude. So Bill, dude, DW you learned some Overkill. That's all. Yeah, Overkill's they're solid, man. Bill, you learned the riff in my thrash lesson, and now learning Seek and Destroy. Nice. Yeah, Seek and Destroy is a little tricky, dude. It's one of those things. Yeah, it's not difficult to play, but if you've never played it before and you're learning how to play it, it's a little tricky. It's a little tricky because there's like a little riff, the dun 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 dun. There's some like different finger movement that you're probably not used to. Just stick with that though, Bill. You will nail that like crazy, dude. And that's a fun song to play too, man. Metallica, I mean, they were just genius, dude. Faceless, Motor Breath. That's an awesome tune, dude. Man, that whole album, Kill 'Em All, that was just it was so great, dude. It was just such a great album. You know what I mean? It was just they just had this raw energy, you know, and they didn't care, dude. Like the bands like Metallica, the older Metallica, Megadeth, what I loved so much about those bands, they didn't care if they like made it or not. They were gonna go do their thing and play in front of people, loud, heavy metal music. They knew they had an audience for it, albeit smaller than the mainstream audience, but that's what they wanted, man. They just did their thing. So yeah, they were such an inspiration. So Piano Noir, not thrash, but Children of Bodom, downfall. Man, yeah, the Children of Bodom has some awesome stuff, dude. And the funny thing about Alexi's playing, he's got a lot of thrash influences, but he's very melodic at the same time. And I really respect his playing so much. He's and he sings as well. And I like a lot of his stuff. He's got a lot of great stuff, man. I need to dig more into that. I heard a song today on one of my radio stations. Man. Yeah, the Randall Satan. That's right. That was Ola's signature amp, dude. Liam, what cab do I have? I have the EVH 212. It's the cab that came with that pairs with the one with EL34 tubes. Because I think the cabinet that pairs with the 6L6 tube, I think it's different. I could be wrong, but they do sell them, separately. Like they have a cab that goes with a 6L6. They have a cab that goes with EL34. And I don't quite know the differences, but I assume there's got to be some kind of difference. Man, first three were gold, dude. The first three were definitely gold, faceless. Actually, I like the Black Album, and a lot of people that's when they started hating Metallica. But I really liked the Black Album, and I know it kind of went commercial with Rob Rock or whatever. I didn't really care about that though. I didn't think about that. A lot of people were just pissed off because Metallica was their band. We're metalheads. This is our band, and then now all of a sudden, all these other people that don't like them or listening to them too. It's like, wait a minute, no, this is our band. I understand that, because metal, you know, we all got into metal for different reasons, but a lot of us kind of felt like we were not with the rest of our classmates or the world or whatever. We're different. I mean, we are different, guys. It's just you know, it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. But that's why a lot of people, I think, really didn't like them. But I actually like the Black Album because yeah, it was more polished, but Kirk Hammett does some very eerie stuff in there. He's big into horror stuff, horror film and whatever. And you can hear that eerie horror sounding, just real eerie stuff in that Black Album. And I think that's why I got so hung up on that album. Like, man, this is awesome. He's doing some great work in here. You know what I mean? Somebody's asked me, DW, Zach Wild. I do. I'm not a big. I don't want to say I'm not a fan of Black Label Society. Just not my thing. But I do love Zach Wild's style of playing. I was huge fan of what was it? Of Ozzy's No More Tears. Loved his playing in that, and I loved his playing on the album before that. Uh, there's one specific song that it's my favorite Ozzy song of all time. Now I can't even remember the name of it. Fire in the Sky. Fire in the Sky. That's it. And the funny thing is, the guitar solo Zach does in Fire in the Sky is very similar to the guitar solo he does in No More Tears. Almost completely identical. But I'm okay with that because it's still very cool and it fits. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But Black Label Society, I don't know. I had a hard time getting into it. I don't know if it was Zach's voice I couldn't get into or what. It was almost like he was trying so hard to be this thing, this super heavy thing, but it was, I don't know, just wasn't really. I need to go back and listen to him again though, because I do like Zach. I have a lot of respect for Zach. The Justice album's awesome, yes, dude. Okay, so Faceless is just it's just okay, gotcha. So they're the same then. You're saying the 606 the 212 cabs are the same. Okay. No, I totally get the marketing thing, and sometimes marketing gets a little screwy. So it's what it's probably why I don't it's probably why I don't make as many sales in general, like on my merch items and stuff like that, as I probably could. And I'm okay with this, but I don't like a lot of the marketing tactics that people use. I'm like, hey guys, I have something cool for you. If you like it, buy it. Great, do that. There are some psychological triggers you do have to hit. I mean, it's just what you have to do. But I don't like. I don't know. I don't like marketing tactics that. I don't know. Anyway, I won't get into that. I like to be straightforward. You know what I mean? That's why, like, on my shop, if you guys notice, if you go to jasonstarworthshop.com, on my shop, and I'll throw that in there real quick. I mean, if you guys want to support me, this is a good way to do it. I'll just throw this in real quick. You guys know I always throw you a link or two in here. I got to pay my mortgage this month, so that's my shop. But you'll notice all the prices that they're like, or most of the prices are like, just a straight $23 or $16 or whatever. It's not 23.99 or 95 or whatever, because I like straightforward stuff, man. That's just me, and I like to give you guys straightforward stuff. This is the price. All right, let me catch up, guys. You guys keep typing, but I'm just catching up here. Yeah, I mean, so the Black Album, they did change after that. Everything changed after that, and it changed at that point as well. But I just the songs though, the way the songs were written, the way it was orchestrated, and just everything. I thought it was phenomenal. I love the Black Album. I love it to death. Everything after that though, I never could get into Metallica again after that, and I still love them. I would go to give those guys a super hug, man, like a big bear hug, because I mean they're responsible for where I'm at today musically. So I owe that to them. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, Saint Anger kind of sucked, dude. Saint, oh my God, it was like instead of Saint Anger, it was like Saint Suck. You know? Oh boy. Yeah, it was trash, not thrash, right? Oh, dude. Yeah, the vintage 30s, man. Vintage 30 speakers, can't go wrong with that. Acoustic, you play your HD 500 through your board out through. Okay, gotcha. I did kind of the same thing. I used to play in a church many, many years ago. And I played music in churches throughout my entire life, up to probably about, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago. But I would have my effects unit plugged directly into the board and just use that. And that was the HD 500 for many years. And what that did, though, it made it so much easier on the sound man to just adjust my levels as he needed instead of having to worry about this loud mic amp on stage. But it was a different style of music. You know, I was playing guitar solos. Every pastor I played with back then, you know, they wanted that for me. That's why they had me. So you know, Liam, I love Marty Friedman, dude. I absolutely love Marty Friedman for many reasons. I love Marty Friedman's playing. Um, Marty is my kind of guitar player because he can do the fast stuff and he can do the fancy stuff, but he doesn't overdo it. He even talks about that. He's like, when you're playing a sweep arpeggio, don't just go doo 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 doo. Make it have some feeling to it, you know. And he talks about that in one of his videos, which is really good. But you know, anyway, so I like him, but I also like another part of his life to where you know he lives in Japan now, and I think he has a Japanese wife. I could be mistaken, but he you know he lives in Japan, but he also learned the culture and learned the language, and I just that hits home for me because my wife is half Thai, and I have learned the Thai language. I'm getting more into reading and writing the Thai language, and I know how difficult that is going through that, especially being a white guy from Florida. I mean, you know, it's you know growing up in the South. You know, back then people were like. You know, Americans were like, "Well, speak English only." You know, telling everybody to speak English only, which was really stupid because you think about it. Even if someone doesn't speak English very well, but they're trying to learn it, I had to respect that. And you know what? That person knows more languages than you do. So I'm like, you're making fun of somebody that's smarter than you, that's using more of their brain than you are. You know, so I have a lot of respect for learning another, not only another language, but being ingrained in another culture, which is what I'm really pushing for with the Thai culture and Thai language. You know what I mean? So a lot of respect for Marty Friedman. He's you know I'd love to sit down and have a coffee or beer or something with him someday. That would just be like a dream come true. You know what I mean? Really, really cool. The Unforgiven. Dude. Yeah, DW. All this for 19.99, dude. And then they send you a bill for 199. Oh man. Yeah, James's voice. I love James's voice, dude. You know, it's crazy. Saint Inker in Norway. That's great, dude. My cooking show. So acoustic. I don't really have a cooking show, dude. But let me see if I can find it real quick, man. It's not really a cooking show, but it's my wife and I have like a food and travel channel. We haven't done a whole lot with it. We put out 2 videos, I think, last week. We're gonna be doing some more stuff with it though, guys. So I'll send you the link here real quick. I don't know what's wrong with my internet, but it's acting up here. That happens sometimes. But we now my wife and I do have 3 videos where we went to Thailand, and that was we documented our entire trip within 3 different videos. We documented. We stayed in Chiang Mai, Thailand. For those of you who are familiar with this part of the world, Chiang Mai. So I've got a video in Chiang Mai and Pak Chong, Khao Yai. Her she has family in a place called Pak Chong, and of course the final week was in Bangkok. So um, I'll send this link to you guys whenever my internet comes back up. Something weird happened here, and I'm not really sure what it is. So it's freezing up. Which the cool thing is I'm filming on my iPhone, And this is a little trick if you're filming stuff at home and you have like kind of crappy internet like I do sometimes. So on my phone, I actually turn the Wi-Fi off when I film because I'm with a company called T-Mobile, and I'm not tooting their horn, but anyway, so their internet connection's much better on my phone than when I get here. Had I not done that, then you guys would not be able to see me right now because my actual internet on here is freezing, but I'm still live. So, yay. So I can't read your questions right now because I'm waiting on this stupid thing to refresh. But no, yeah, the channel was called. I'm gonna switch servers here. The channel was called Candy and Jason's Life. So, like I said, we're just starting it up. We're probably gonna shoot something this weekend. We're gonna put out like one video per week, something like that. That's not like super overwhelming for us. You know what I mean? So, because I'm busy doing this YouTube, I'm also doing the Metal Mastermind now. So we got a lot going on, man, which is good. It's good to stay busy. All right, I can start seeing your comments now. Things are starting to come back up here. So let me switch over to this real quick. I just want to send you guys this link, and it like you guys don't have to follow this if you don't want. If you want to and you want to keep up, that's awesome. You can. Um, Candy and Jason. I'm here, guys. There we go. So, all right. Yeah, my internet was cutting out on my computer here, so like on the chat, you probably saw me jump off for a little bit, but the video should have still kept going. But that's our channel. If you guys want to follow it, that's great. It's All right, let me catch up here. Ooh, the SOD tab book. That would have been cool, man. Kirk Hammett. Yeah. Marty does kind of pick weird, dude. Marty's got a really weird style of playing, dude. I'm just seeing that. Watersteiner. Yes, dude. German beer. Yeah, I've had Watersteiner before. That's some good beer, dude. I love that stuff, man. I had what's the other German beer I had? Erdinger? Is it called Erdinger? Something like that. So it's I can't remember what it is now, dude. There's a dark. They have a dark and light version. Erdinger though, really really good beer. Never tried a LTD Viper, dude. John Christ. I'll have to look that up. My bitch sustained. So Dula, you want me to teach college, dude, and teach Metal 101? Um, I don't want to talk about this too much because I haven't even started it yet, but I do plan to put out a metal riff writing course. So I'm getting some help with it. And one thing I've learned in my life is when I try to do things all on my own, it ends up not as good as it could be, And that's a hard pill I had to swallow. I had to drop my ego and just say, look, I need help with certain things and just go get that help. Just like my album Masterpiece, I hired Cameron Fleury to do the drums for that album. He made it phenomenal. Had I not had him do that, had I not hired him and I tried to take that on my own or use program drums or whatever, it wouldn't have sounded good, especially the nature of that album. So I knew I needed help. I get help mastering. Mike Olson, he's not on here tonight, but he masters my stuff. So I get a lot of help. I don't do the artwork myself. I hired out the artwork. So I'm at that point in my life where I'm not trying to do anything all by myself anymore. Not so. Anyway, that said, I'm trying to get some help for the course that I want to put out there. It'll be hosted on my own website. It'll be a website on its own. But I don't want to just do a lesson album. There would be some metal riffing involved, sure, but I want to kind of like really take it to that next level and really teach how to write your own riffs. I think that's important, and how if you're playing one thing, some possibilities, and a lot of the stuff is stuff you already know, but going through it with someone in a course, you're like, you see it and you're like, oh wow, it just opens up all these possibilities in your mind, and that's my goal. I want you guys to be able to, to write your own music. I know a lot of you do already, So, Lorenz, good night, dude. Thank you for joining, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, that'd be cool. The ESP custom shop. But the ESP custom shop's gonna be disappointed when they see I got rid of my E2 Horizon and bought a cheaper LTD. Hey, I'll be the LTD custom shop. How about that? Oh man. All right, guys. So I have actually got to wrap things up. I got to wrap things up tonight because my wife and I we have something that we have to do at 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock sharp, and I've got 12 minutes to go prepare for that. It's something that that we're gonna do tonight. So I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. Thank you all for joining tonight. Don't forget, I will send an email to you guys tomorrow morning with some stuff. I put out a new blog post this week, guys, and I really want you to read that. If you're not on my email list, please go to this link I am sending you now and sign up for my email, okay? I know most of you, I think most all of you guys are on there, but sign up on the link that I just gave you and do that. And in that way you'll get tomorrow's email where I'll tell you all the cool stuff that happened this week and some stuff, upcoming stuff next week is gonna be really exciting. But guys, thank you so much. I really do appreciate all you guys. Until the next video, keep it metal and be safe out there, guys.